and using art as a survival tool was something that I picked up in the streets.
Allowed me to honor those people who died in prison.
Hi, I'm Yasmin Salem. I'm the Programs Manager for Mason Exhibitions. And today we're at Buchanan Hall to celebrate the Faces of Resilience exhibition with the Art and Incarceration Symposium.
My name is Suave Gonzalez, formerly incarcerated. I served 31 years and 85 days at a life sentence at the State Correctional Institute at Gonzalez. And being in solitary confinement is what turned me into an artist.
How I got into arts, I went to Huntington prison named Buddy Martin, and he walks up to me and says, "Excuse me," he says, I couldn't overhear, I overheard you giving this guy the typewriter. That evening, I'm on the block, walking up and down the block because I just got there, and this way he was dealing the cards, I said to myself, he's a mechanic. So I became his friend. Just so happened, this guy's an artist in the craft shop. So he said, "Look, Rod," he said, "I can get you a job up in the craft shop as a janitor." I said, "Perfect." So I go up there and I'm working there a while, and he's starting to show me how to graph a picture because I can't draw. I can't even draw a pencil.
I decided that I wanted to have a piece of the place that raised me, a piece of the place that turned me into a man. So I started chipping paint from the walls and incorporated it into my art. So when you see the piece of metal, that's a piece of metal that come in the notebooks. That was considered contraband in the prison system. You're not supposed to have it because you could create a shank out of it. So I took one that I found from the guards and I incorporated with the art. The shoestrings, what you see might see a shoestring, they serve as a noodle for the can. That's actually came from a pair of Timberland boots, because in the prison system in PA, they banned Timberland boots from the whole state prison system. And anything with the Timberland boots got you solitary confinement. So I just took one and added to my artwork and just started incorporating it, because they said that I destroyed state property, which was the prison, because I chipped the paint off the wall in my cell and used it for art. And since I wouldn't tell them where I got my contraband from, they said, "Okay, you can go to hell. You're going to solitary confinement." So they gave me 7 months in solitary confinement. Every piece of material you see in this picture come from SEI Gradisford, which is now closed. It's banned.
I didn't conceptualize this picture, right? I didn't have this in mind when I did this picture. I do what they call discovery art. I'm not a conceptual artist because I don't have a good imagination. I said, "Then they look like cell blocks." I said, "Well, cell blocks, a lot of people died in prison that I know, were friends of mine, right?" So I started putting bodies, drawing this, drawing it. I just randomly went through this. And before you know it, this is what came up. This is me on the top here, right here. And I'm looking down at this, and here it is. This is the medical department. That's the all-seeing guard in prison. This is the administration, always looking, right? And here are the trucks. They come in, and they go out after they pick our bodies up. And so that's, and I wrote here, help, because people need help in prison before they die, not after they die. Right? Combination to get out of prison, and I lit a candle on behalf of those people who died in prison. And I was doing time. And that was me too down there trying to get out that door. I did that in 2019. Knowing the theme, I consider myself very fortunate that my mind allowed me to honor those people who died in prison, even though I didn't have an intent. So it speaks for them. That's what I think of. And I like the architecture. I like the perspective that I try to create depth in the picture other than the theme. I wanted to be an interesting interior. As I was doing it, I realized that. I said, I just want a flat dimension spotlight. So I was fortunate to learn a little bit about perspective, at least one or two, you know. And I put art boards here because I'm an artist. That's why I put them there. I'm very fortunate. To have met the people who influenced me that I could do this. Because I was a punk on the street, you know, and they introduced me to a new world. That's why I'm standing here today. It's a beautiful world.
And I think it's important because art is the only thing that's going to bring everybody together. Because there's two things in my world that I know people love. It's art and music. And we might not like each other, but we could have a long conversation about art and still not like each other, but we could have that conversation.
In fact, I've made a saying when I see people now and I say goodbye to them, I say, may the arts and life be kind to you, because the arts have been kind to me.